All right, I'm going to go through these PSA slabs and break down the set. It's been complete for a while, but finally got the rest of it. I guess slab encapsulated, graded. So I'm going to talk about just a few things on this set. First one being the set registry. So these 5 cards, how PSA does it is if you have cards in your set registry and you end up selling them and they stay in your set registry and you do not remove them, someone else purchases them or acquires the cards, whatever, and then they try to put it in their set registry. It basically pops up an alert that it gives you like a 3-day window for the seller or the previous owner to respond to confirm that they do not have the cards. And I'm not sure if there's an upload process of actually posting pictures on the site. I didn't get to that point when I was uploading the set. It's the first time I put a complete set together. So these are the 5 cards that I own. And Adam, by the way, if you're watching, these are your cards that we talked about. I'll send you some pics on those. So those are the 3. And so basically I had to submit, I guess, a request. So by today or tomorrow, I believe it's going to be, maybe it's business day. So maybe by Wednesday, I'll get notification that these are going to be, I guess, mine. So whatever, but we'll work these into the fold. We're going to go through, hopefully they kept these in number order. Let's just see. I doubt they did, but we'll go through them one at a time. And we'll just share the set and show all the cards to you guys. So when the plans are, I really don't know what my plans are. I have a couple ideas, a couple of things I'm going to try to target at the Strongsville show coming up, possibly the National, if I don't make a deal there, or keep it, or auction house. Excuse me. But yeah, let's just show this off and I'll ramble on as I go. So let's set this aside so I don't lose that count. Card number 1. And I'll have all these uploaded to the set registry once then I can just share the link if someone's interested. But if anybody's watching, at whatever point you do watch this, I'm trying to target and upgrade a 51 Bowman mantle. So I do have a 51 Bowman mantle that I'm going to be sharing that's going to be available. So these are the 2 stacks that I got back from PSA, and I'll go over those as we work through in number order. And I'm just going to share just a quick image of each card. if anybody that's interested or when we get to that point wants to see any specific cards, they can always reach out to me for close-ups. So PSA won't ding you for some of the wax stains, similar to the 51 Bowman. Phil Rizzuto. A lot of Hall of Famers in this set. No Jackie Robinson, no Willie Mays. Yeah, lighting sucks here. Sorry about the glare, but it is what it is. I know these, there's a lot of set breakers that do, what do you call them? Set breaks, hit randoms, where they basically charge like a per card and do it like a break. So if there's 160 cards in the set, they'll sell 160 spots and they'll divvy up the cost of the break accordingly. Now, there's some cards in this set that are just notoriously off-centered and almost impossible to get centered. Others fairly easy, but there is some that just have a real low pop count in higher grade in the 7, 8, 9 range. I believe there's only one PSA 10 mantle. I think there's maybe 20-ish, something like that. 9s, 18, I'm not sure. I remember looking a long time ago. Obviously not the range that I'm showing here, but okay, right up to this point, I think we got to go start grabbing some of the new ones that got graded. And I'll talk through the grades on the new cards and what I was expecting. And thank God for YouTube, man. If you had to share a bunch of photos and have the set registry or something like that where you couldn't share these things, it's a lot of work. Stan the man. He only has a 50. That's a second card for Bowman. He only has a his first Bowman card's a 52. All right, so it's 32. So we got to find 33 in here. Let's see if these are in order. Nope. It's weird. These are just all out of order for some reason when they ship them, but no worries. Oh, that's cool. And then this next one up quote iconic cards. So let me take a look at this real quick. Wow, this is crazy. I'm gonna look this thing over again, but I'm just not seeing it. So this is card 33. Surely has corner touches. There's a small little dimple right here. You want to talk about eye appeal. I mean, I've been grading with PSA for 20 years. There is no wrinkles. There's no creases. I'm just trying to roll this glare over the nice gloss there. You can see that. Like I said, there's just a tiny little dot here and here. There's no creases on this card. Color's great. Gloss is great. Centering is amazing. It's damn near 50-50. Just a touch off left to right, or top to bottom in this case. But yeah, this is done on a stage. This is a stage photo shoot. This is not done during a game or exhibition or anything like that. I think it's in the 40s. There's a magazine cover. If you just Google the Pee Wee 53 Bowman color Pee Wee Reese photo, you can learn all about it. There's a pretty good article you can read online. But yeah, you want to talk about an iconic card, and a centered 2 is they sell for a ton of money. Meaning for the grade, like if you have a nice 2 that looks centered, you get a premium. It's just a desired card. All right, well, let's keep going. I don't want to spend too much time on that. All right, so that's 33. Okay, here we go. 34. I need to find 35 in here. There's 35. Mini Minoso. There's a small, like a subset of this set. It's black and white. It's not as large as this set. Doesn't have any of the big stars, meaning like the mantle and things like that. It's 38. Here's 39. Love this one here. Larry Doby. That's 40. Okay, here's 41. Mike Garcia. I don't know how I'll feel if I trade this or sell it or whatever. I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. Mantle, Bauer, and Yogi sitting in a dugout. Can't be. Monty Irving. I always love that logo mascot. That and the old Chief Wahoo, or the old Indians logo. Mantle. Yeah, at the time when I was putting most of this together, I was focused on the mid-range, the 5 and 6. Well, 6 is above mid-range, but you get what I'm saying. Certain cards, like I said, are really tough to find. Try not to find it and just buy graded cards just to have in there. And I've had doubles and triples of several cards where I bought stuff in lots, putting sets together. You end up with doubles, acquiring collections or whatever, and then picking up cards along the way. I'm 66. Let's see. Okay. Here's 66. Again, just it's just wild how PSA is grading cards now. There's no creases on this card. There's no rhyme or reason why this isn't a 4, which I built this set, to have that 5 or 6 grade. Not saying these are 5s or 6s, but the history on cards, when you send something into PSA or SGC, they know about certain cards. Hey, this card is notoriously off center because it's cut on the corner of the sheet. It's cut over here. It's the top right. It's the bottom left. Whatever the reasoning is, the wax stains are forgiven because there's only 2 cards in a pack, or whatever the case may be, or 1 card per pack. So every card's going to possibly have wax. 2 cards per pack. There's going to be gum stains. There's going to be scratches from gum. Whatever the reasoning is, right? We can talk about that all day long. But seeing some of these, and I'm not doing a good job showing because I don't have the camera set up properly, but I'm just looking in the light, rolling the the lead across the gloss. And I call that like the Topps Bowman, that paper style. It looks like a marbled texture, almost like a leather texture that you see on a Pack Fresh card from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 50s, whatever. But and like to give these cards threes and then look at other cards in the set that have no creases and similar centering, you know, they understand. I know it's an older grade, but this is a 6. And then you look at all the examples, type this card and look at all the examples that you can find on the internet. And certain cards you're not going to find centered. It's just how this set was built or produced. Some of these are just extremely, extremely tough. But anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But a card that's, you know, doesn't have any creases and you're giving it a 3 is wild. I mean, this is the put it this way, this card has such high eye appeal, and I can send photos to as many people that would be interested in this card. Would sell in probably 5 minutes, posted anywhere on the internet, because it's almost damn near perfectly centered and great color, etc. I could take the money from this and buy a 4 or a 5 just to have a higher grade in the set registry. That's not going to look as nice, not have as nice eye appeal, but it'll be a 4, 5, or 6, and I can get a premium for this. So that's just how vintage works. It's not cut and dry like a 9 or a 10. That's modern. So let's continue. And we'll keep rolling through, and we'll keep filling in the slabs now that it's all done. And like I said, anybody that's interested in the set, I don't know my plans just yet. Potentially going for a bigger card here at the show coming up. So I'm going to have this with me. I'll have the 51 mantle. I'm open to trades. I'm open to bringing money to the table. I just don't know what I'm going to be getting into. I'm definitely not getting rid of the 51 set. That's my upgrade. I'm looking for a better 51 mantle. The mantle that I have is a 1.5. The rest of the set is 4 and up. So I have the 53 set, the 54, and the 55 that I'll be potentially bringing to the table, along with the 51 mantle. So if I'm missing code 73, here we go. And you can see there's some more wax here where they're not going to ding you up to a certain point. I think once you get to past the 6, you know, they're looking for no wax and things like that. I've seen 6s. I haven't seen many 7s with the wax stain, unless the card is like superior on the front. But once you get to that 7, 8, 9 range, you're typically trying to get a card that doesn't have that wax stain where they're going to ding you too hard for it. Let's keep it rolling here. A lot of Yankee presence in this set. 76. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, and here's a card with similar centering to that 3. This one got a 6. So, I mean, your guess is as good as mine sometimes, but still nice regardless. It does feel good to complete the set. I will say that. I've had it completed for a while. I just didn't grade these other cards because I had no intentions of selling or doing anything with it and spending more money on plastic that just sat there. But if you know anything about how I collect, and I'm going to put this back there, 63. All my stuff is in binders. And I do have some binder pages that will, you know, share the PSA slabs for some of the key cards. All right, so next stack here. Stop at 80 and make 4 stacks. Here is card 79. 180. All right, there's the first stack. Make some room here. And I've been grading a long time. I usually don't have any problems at all with what PSA does or SGC. I really don't. With the amount of cards that I've graded in my lifetime, I think everything's been pretty fair. You know, there's an occasional card here and there, and certain cards I just scratch my head and say like how, you know, but I'm sure we all do that. I just don't get into the constant bashing of any of these grading companies, because these are just opinions. You know, you may look at a 7, it looks like a 6, a 7 looks like a 9 one day. That happens. Okay. There's some cool images in here. This one, the Feller, this one here, probably my top 3, I would say. But there's the Slaughter. Okay, it's 81. Again, you can see where the wax staining is, but it's common in both. It's on all these cards, not all these cards, but it's on the cards that have the wax stains. We're all in the same spot. Now you get a card that has a different stain in a different location that's not from the pack flaps and the sealing process. Then they're going to ding you for that. Or just a stain in general. But for wax, it's a little different on these when you're not getting cards that are, you're getting 17, 15 cards a pack like you did in the 80s. Hank Bauer. Oh, that's an old cert right there. Nicely centered, though. Tough set to get centered. So yeah, as I talk through this, I don't know what my plans are. I really have no idea. Some days I just enjoy having the cards, having the sets, but then your interests change over time, or your collecting goals, change. So you want to do something different. So do I want to take money and spend to get a nicer mantle? Certainly don't have to, but instead of spending your money, move some cards around. So appreciate you guys commenting and chiming in. I'm just focused on the cards right now. Yeah, this is a nice one too. Image wise, I just like this image. Martin and Rizzuto. It's 93. Where's card 92? It's probably mixed in here. Oh, actually, no one's missing. So I'm going to have to put all these in sleeves too as well. Oh, there we go. Gil Hodges. I did not upgrade this one because, that card's pretty much 50-50. Really, really close. Just a touch off left to right, but another great image on this one. Gil Hodges. I like this card a lot. But yeah, I was so happy with this 4.5 when I found it. Just no reason to get a better copy. Okay, back to here we go. 94. Yeah, vintage is, it's finicky, it's tricky. It's You just got to do your homework on a lot of this stuff. Just be cautious what you're buying. It's just so much. It's a lot more work than modern. You know, look at a modern 9. You're like, oh, it's a 9. I see it's a little off center. It's got a little corner touch. Fair grade. There's nice early Eddie Matthews. Warren Spahn. He looks young there. It's almost like he looked the same in every photo. But I bet they reused a lot of those images too. Most sets, well, there's a few sets before this where some of these players just had the black and white cards. That's card 99. Let's see. So 100 must be in this stack. But yeah, it's so much easier grading. Separate these. Grading modern is just much easier. Although there's times we get that head scratcher grade of a modern card, you just can't find a flaw, and it's a 7 or an 8. That's frustrating. Okay, here we go. 100, and we'll do 120, and we'll stack the last 40. Yeah, sometimes I don't understand these grades where that one got a 3 and this is a 4. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? What are we doing on centering? That's whatever. Like I said, certain cards are just frustrating, and I've owned that card for so long. It just sat in the closet, sat on a shelf. Another Cleveland Indian here, Jim Hagan. Here's a 4 with the roller marks. I'm not sure when, but I believe it's when these cards are passing through getting a roller marks. I know like 51 Bowman has a lot of those. 54 Tops, you'll have a lot of this cut edges where right at this point on the card, you'll have a double mark here. And I've seen even cards that get caught and get torn. Actually, I just comped this card out for someone. And I came across, well, this is the card that Adam's getting. And I'm keeping that one for my set. And there was I think it sold for close to 700 and a 4, but it's got the 2 roller marks right here. And it almost looks like there's paper loss, but it's not. It's just, black and gray marks where it caught the card. Certain sets, like I said, are just known for having. It's just amazing to me. Like, this card is not as nicely centered, has roller marks. I think it's a 4. But buy the card, not the grade, I guess, sometimes. Or all the time. Another good one here. Luke Easter. There's a park named after him on the east side of Cleveland. Not the safest park, but he's got a park named after him. A lot of poses. Here, put that ball in your glove, and I'm going to take a photo. A lot of bats and balls in this set. Is that ball moving, or is that ball just sitting there? Wow. 112, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, this is crazy. Crazy. I'll show you the next three coming up. Here's 112. Again, off center, top to bottom, left to right. We're throwing a 4 on that one. There's the feller. All right, let's get into the next three. Noticing a pattern here? We'll see what the pattern is. It's insane. It's just no. It's just crazy. When are you not a conspiracy theorist? At what point are you not a conspiracy theorist? This one? Totally understandable. Where is it at? You can see the mark right there. It's got the roller mark down here. This one's a little bit more prominent. But I still sent it anyway because look at the centering on this card. It's not near his face. Doesn't really detract from the image. But I'm fine. I'm fine with that. So you're telling me that this card with, you can see it, that's more of a heavy indent, and this is more of a line. It's really faint here on this bottom one, but right up here it's a lot more prominent, and you can see. But it's just still a beautiful card. Look at the centering on this thing. It's awesome. So that gets a 3. Let's see. Go through the stack here. 119. Not prepared, but whatever. They didn't have these in order when I got them out of the box for some reason. Cleveland, Dale Mitchell. The Cleveland Indian. 16, 17, 18. Okay, that's 19. Here's 20. Again, not really seeing it. Not seeing it. I wonder if that little thing right there, that's not on a card for sure, because I took photos of everything before I sent it. Just see if this is on the case. Yeah, the little marks on the case. Okay. So I guess Yogi gets a 3. So the 3, those 3 bigger cards that I sent in all got 3. All got 3s. I don't get it. And I'll look these over again, but I've looked these things over in detail many, many times. I mean, this is wild. Wild for this card to get a 3. Crazy stuff. Okay, all right, moving on. I know it's easy for everyone to think that they have, the best stuff that's theirs. 5 should be 6s, 7 should be 8s, whatever, but it's not. It's not what they're saying here. Again, these are the same exact cards. Nicer centering, same exact card. Here. I'll start the last step over here. There's 20, 21, 22, here's 23. Again, wax on the back, print dot right here, centering 5. That's why, kids, you buy the card, not the grade. Here's a 4, a couple roller marks, but a solid image. 4. Let's see, here's 125. I mean, we got cards like this that are not reaching 4s at least, with no creases, no wrinkles, no surface indents. It's just, does it make sense to grade cards anymore? I mean, the whole reason I did this was to sell the set as a graded set. That's it. Could have just easily had those cards ungraded and the rest of them, as is, but perfectly understandable here. Somebody had this all in pencil. For those doctor cards, easy to erase and soak and fix things. And that's okay. PSA can't catch that. But they can't accurately grade vintage cards lately. It's pretty wild. Here's another 3. $30, $31. $32. 33. And as you can see again, the wax stains, but still a strong card. Got a 6. 3. There's 34. Pesky. Red Sox legend. Might be a small little nick, little indent right here. All right. I think I'm going to display this and set it up one of my cabinets just to see if my feelings change. I wanting to move this to get into a mantle, an upgrade of a mantle. I'll share the mantle with you guys in another video, or I'll post it on. Oops, got out over here. It's 37, it's 39, 40, 41. I'll post it on my. 40. posted on the social somewhere, posted on the YouTube page and a few other places. 50, 51, 54, 7, 59. Okay. Missing these two over here. 38. Here we go. Bubba Church. So hopefully I can go into the PSA set registry tomorrow. If anyone that does watch this can put in the comments, that'd be great. How that works. I've never had to request get this card out of your PSA registry so I can put it in mine request. But that's what I had to do. And I guess I can't really say it's a complete set until that point. So, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. You really gotta be patient with PSA. And again, I've been grading a long, long time, and I haven't had a ton of cards. I mean, has there been 20, 25 cards in the last 20 years? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I doubt more than that I looked at and go, wow, this is just horrible. And there's been times where I miss stuff too. You know, that's why you got to have an open mind too, and let other people look at it and say, hey, did I miss something here? Because that can happen too. And I try not to overreact when I see a card. Can't believe, look at this grade. But there's been a few that were just head scratchers. I just don't get it like this. I mean, I know you guys can't really see what I'm looking at. I'm just trying to roll the light glare across it. That usually just picks up something that I can't see with the naked eye. I mean, continuous gloss throughout, no wrinkles, no creases, no staining, no marks, no writing, no wax. Dead centered left to right. It is off top to bottom, but a 3, I mean, again, those other threes, those 2 other threes, I'm totally fine with. I understand. I know what I had, and I know what I was getting into, and I know that made sense. I mean, do you send a couple cards back just to try to get a higher average on the set? It's not needed, but it's a possibility. I consider myself a pretty reasonable person when it comes to this stuff. That's fair. I mean, it's a sharp card. It is off-centered, so it probably would have been a straight 6, but they gave it a 4. But man, the color on this card, that's just the ink spot. But man, look at that blue. This card's beautiful. The image, it's great. Some of them you can tell, you know, as you're getting sets from different times over the many years I put the set together. You start to learn about different cards and just searching online and looking at all the different conditions. There's just certain cards, like I said, that are very, I say that a lot, that are notoriously off-centered. Another card here that people like. Why do you just stare at the ball? I sold a 4 not too long ago. It wasn't as nicely centered, so I kept this one. I think it was a 4, maybe a 5, but anyway, that was a lot nicer. 53 is 54. 55. Boy, that thing is really nicely centered, but it's got a little dimple right here. Everything else about this is pretty nice. That's a nice looking card. 156. 157. 158. And I may snag that. I may snag that card that had the pencil writing on it. It was definitely a set filler, but I just figured send it in anyway. Now, if I keep this set, will I try to upgrade a couple of these? I certainly would change a couple. Something like this that's got lesser centering, corner touches, a rounded corner right here, slightly rounded, decent corner, average corner, but no creases. I'm fine with something that you can look at and say, okay, I get it. I totally understand why that's a 3. And then you compare it to stuff like this, just no. Just no. And I'm fine with having that card. I mean, anybody that knows this card and sees this card in this set, they're gonna look at that and go, fine, put whatever number you want right there. Beautiful card. So yeah, there's 159, and then here's 160. Another tough card to get centered. All right. Well, that's the set, fellows, ladies, gents. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I don't know, like I said, I don't know my plans for this set. But when I find out, if you see me at the Strongsville show, not sure about the National, but I will have this with me at the Strongsville show. I live about 10 minutes away. I'll have this. I'll have the mantle with me. I'm open to adding cash to a deal for a nicer 51 Bowman mantle. That's what I'm after. Let's see if I can even find my mantle on here. While we're hanging out, let me see if I could find the mantle in the maze. The maze I'm also going to upgrade to. They're both 1.5s. But my set is a better grade, the rest of the set. And I've gone through every card and upgraded throughout the years. And I'm down to replacing one more card. I shouldn't say common, but it's a high number, and it's maybe $30-$40. It's not a big deal. It's just a matter of finding the right one, because I'm very I'm, I guess, picky, but I'm very patient when it comes to upgrading a card. I'm not going to upgrade a card just to put a 5 or a 6 in there and just say I have a 5 or a 6 because the card says number on it. And that's, several cards are graded, not the whole set's graded. So 330 card set or 318 card set, something like that. So that would cost a ton. Yeah. While we're chatting, here's a card where I don't agree. Don't need to reveal the grade, but I got rid of a 7 to put this in there, and we'll reveal it for you. It's a 6, and I've had so many people look this card over. This is never a 6. It never was a 6. It never should be a 6, but it's in my set, and I love it. The card's amazing. This is not doing it justice. Let me see if I can dim down the light and see if it's even better. There you go. You can see how nice that color is. Just a dead centered copy. Beautiful card. Nothing wrong with the back. Probably the worst grade I've ever received from PSA. And I'm not thinking this is a 9 or a 10, But as I'm scrolling through, just trying to find if I have any pics in here of my mantle. Be nice to just share if anyone's interested in the same video. Yeah, there was another post that I made about that card when I got it. That's an image off the PSA site. Just wild. This sold on Probstein as we're just chatting about cards. And he had it listed as EX to near mint. Paper loss. At best, you're getting a 2. And there's a stain up there, and obviously I can't see anything else, but he had that card listed as, I'm not sure the closed sale, but ungraded near mint or better. That's what he had for condition. It's just crazy. Nice looking. It's crazy. I thought I had pics in here. I'm sure they're in here somewhere, but hang out for a couple more minutes. Just like to include it in the in this image or this set of in this showing. Sorry, I'm just rambling. Trying to find this card in here. Too many photos in this phone. But I know I took pics of it at some point for insurance purposes. The other thing too, guys, take photos of your stuff, document your slab numbers. Modern, vintage, doesn't matter. Get collectibles insurance. Get yourself third-party insurance. Don't think that your house insurance is going to cover that, because it won't. There are collectibles insurances, but you can also reach out to your current insurance agent and get an additional rider for collectibles. I upload a spreadsheet, Google Docs, and just have a running tally of cards, the cert numbers, etc. And just keep your stuff documented, because you never know what's going to happen. All right, guys, I can't find it here. I'll just post pics when I get it out, and I'll make another video or something like that when I share the 51 set. All right, guys, appreciate you watching. Feel free to comment. Talk to you soon. See ya.